Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. Today we're going to be looking at Barambah Organics chocolate organic flavored milk. This one is pretty much exclusive to Brisbaneites. I think this one's actually made quite locally in Darra, so if you're outside of Brisbane, I think you're going to really have a hard time finding it. The only place that I've ever seen it before is in IGAs. I don't think you're ever going to see this in Woolworths or Coles or any major chain, so you're going to want to look into those independent grocers if you're hunting for it. So you might be wondering, what is an organic flavored milk? I think the biggest thing of note is they say that they don't use any pesticides, so it's healthy dairy. I'll put up what they say on screen so you can read it there and make a judgment for yourself. I don't really know much about this per se. It's kind of marketing to me, so who really knows what it actually means? Something else special of note, that this is a lactose-free milk, so we're going to have to compare it directly to Zimmel, which I claim to be the king of lactose-free milks. The bottle is pretty simplistic in its design, although it does have a really nice metallic chrome strip on that front side there. I quite like the bottle. It's simple but effective in communicating what this is. If you're interested in the nutritional information, I'll flash that on screen for you now. This is a 375 milliliter bottle, and it's meant to be consumed in one serving. Being a bottle though, you've got the lid, so you can store it for later if you like. But with that all out of the way, let's give it a shake and get right into it. Opening it up now. Lid came off pretty clean. Let's give it a smell. Pretty rich flavor there. It's got a slightly artificial flavor kicking in the back, which kind of reminds me of the smell of plastic, which doesn't bode well. However, we're not in the flavor yet, so let's pour it in and have a look. Ooh, that is looking really thick. I think the smell that I was likening to a plastic before is actually a smell that I've noticed in a lot of UHT products. I think it's something to do with the way that how they treat the milk. When you go to try this, you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Getting into the drink now, let's smell it from the glass. Yeah, the greatest way that I can describe it is that it's a chocolate long life milk that's come out of a little carton. Let's get into that flavor. Okay, so what I want to first say is the thickness is not great. It's thick, but there is no flavor backing that up whatsoever. This is such a mild chocolate that it's almost a bit of an exaggeration to call it chocolate at the get-go. You might want to call it flavored milk that a block of chocolate once wafted past. I can only sort of liken this to, I think, the Woolworths brand flavored milk, and it had such a low presence of chocolate. The flavor is just not there whatsoever. In terms of a lactose-free drink, it's okay, but the flavor's just really depressing. It has a strange quality where it's both thick but quite watery in taste. I think the level of cream is actually pretty impressive for a lactose-free drink that isn't often recreated in other examples on the market. If you had the option for Zimmel, I would always recommend that if you need something good and lactose-free. I'm unsure if perhaps it's a little bit of the flavoring that's struggled to mix in, but I have seen a few little black spots both in the glass and in the bottle in front of me, which is a shame because it probably really needed it. So whilst I do think this is drinkable and I can easily finish the glass in front of you, I don't really recommend it. I think I could only give this one probably a 4 out of 10. And even then, I could probably go lower to a 3. But I think in terms of its texture, it does a really good job being a lactose-free milk, and there's points rewarded there. But the flavor is just not at all where it needs to be considered a tasty option. I do feel bad that I can't really give support to a smaller Australian business, but I have to tell it like it is. There has to be a standard upheld in the market, and if it doesn't meet it, that needs to be reported on. I have noticed there's a few other flavors by Barambah. I think they've got a banana and maybe even a blueberry. If I have another chance, I'll definitely be looking at these again, because perhaps maybe their chocolate is just their weak entry and they've got other strengths in other areas. But for the moment, I'll probably never be picking up this chocolate again. But that about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Thank you very much for watching. Please drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing. I try to put these videos out every week on Monday, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye.